What's up, everybody? I want to talk about the beautiful city of Las Vegas. I'm going to also talk about being black in Vegas and things of this nature. I went to Las Vegas back in October 2009, right? And back then I went because I thought there was going to be a lot of jobs out there. I saw a lot of gigs on Craigslist for telemarketing. That's the job I was doing at the time. And I'm like, okay. And I was on the PL talking with a guy who basically comparing Las Vegas to Chicago, and the benefits outweighed the downfalls compared to Chicago. I'm like, I gotta go out to Vegas. So I went out there and stayed out there for about a month. Upon arriving to Las Vegas, I just entering the city, it had a different feel. It's the West Coast, essentially. You know, driving down the expressway, go to the Greyhound station on Main Street. Small Greyhound station, so you exit and you automatically see casinos right there. You got lights, you got the mirror up top. You know, walking down the street, lugging your heavy bag. I went to the main bus station. From there, people are friendly at the main bus station. You have the counter people who will, you know, kind of direct you, give you maps, and you can buy a 1-month pass. At that station back in the day, I don't think that station no longer exists. It's an enclosed station now. But that station, they had like 2 police officers who used to monitor it all the time. You couldn't feed the pigeons over there, you know, and their reasoning for that was once you feed them, then they come and, you know, they start swarming around and, you know, hitting people waiting for the bus in the face and things like this. Yeah, and also there was a U.S. Marshal's vehicle parked like nearby the bus station also, so I don't know what that was about. It was always parked there. Yeah, so yeah, but Las Vegas, man, so, you know, upon entering Las Vegas, you know, people have a certain type of hospitality out there. Anybody who lived in Vegas knows exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you might get a person who, you know, is feeling good and they might just give you money. You know, you might be friendly with a person, they might just give you money out of nowhere. When I first got there, I talk about this in my books in the description below. When I first got there, I was waiting on the bus, and this guy pulled over, was like, hey man, do you need a ride? And I was like, you know, the bus ain't coming, you know, this ain't Chicago, so the bus ain't coming. I was like, alright man, alright, get it, you know. And I learned a lot about Las Vegas before coming. Of course, there's more resources online that you can use now to get a mental angle on the city. Guy gives me a ride, come to find out he's an Army recruiter. You know, I told him my story. I'm like, hey, I just came out here, I'm staying at the Salvation Army and things like this. And he was like, hey, you know, he gave me $20, and he asked me to come to the Army place to maybe register. And of course I didn't go. Yeah. Also, I'm on a bus one time, right, in Las Vegas. I'm just riding on the bus, and I see this white boy. He come on. Well, not white boy, but white guy. He comes on, and he sit back there with me. Now, you know, I'm drinking a bottle of water. I always got a bottle of water with me. The dude asked for a sip of my bottle of water, so he drank some of my bottle of water. I was like, okay. And the guy was leaning back and forth, like something was wrong with him. I'm like, what's up with dude? I actually started to get worried. I'm like, hey man, do you need me to call the hospital? He was like, no man, you don't need to call the hospital. You know, it's obvious he was on drugs. No man, you have to call the hospital. And I got off with him just in case he fell out and I needed to call like 911 or whatever. And I was genuinely concerned about his health. I don't know why, I just was. So the guy, you know, gets off. I gets off with him. I'm like, hey man, you sure you all right? He's like, no, I'm okay. I'm okay, man. He was like, hey man, thanks for your concern, man. And he offered me some money. He had a bundle full of money. And this black girl was like next to him. I don't know if he was with him or whatever. He had like a bundle of money. He said he won at the casino. He offered me 20. I turned it down. I was like, nah, man. And, you know, we was just hanging out in front of the store talking. You know, it was this young black chick. She was coming to the corner store, and, you know, she had like a certain attitude about her. Like, you know, like excuse me, y'all standing all in front of the doorway and stuff like this, which we wasn't. Like, okay, whatever. So yeah, Las Vegas is so cool. Also in Las Vegas, oh yeah, I forgot about the pimp story. I covered it in my book too. It was this pimp, man. He I'm walking on a street 1 block from the Strip, somewhere near the Luxor Hotel, I think. And I'm walking down, And the I got water in my hand, right? Got water in my hand. The dude comes up to me. He got like gold teeth and stuff, you know. He was like, "Hey man, can I get some of your water?" I was like, hey, man. You know, people are thirsty out there for some reason. So I gave her some, you know, because in Chicago, nobody's going to actually get some of your water. It's not going to happen at all. That will never, ever happen. So I gave the dude some of my water. He drank the water, and I could see that he had a girl behind him. And it was obvious what was going on. You could just tell that was his hooker or whatever. And, you know, I'm like, man, that's funny. And that's the thing about Las Vegas, man. I think prostitution is like tolerated out there to a certain degree. Sometimes you might be standing on the street corner and you'll see like a woman in skimpy outfits walk down the street. The dude pull over, talk to her. She get in the car. They drive in the alley. They don't really have alleyways, but in some areas they do. But they'll drive behind the alleyway. You already know what's going on, and it's just so like normal, like it's like clockwork. Nobody pays attention to it. You know, and also you got to remember the Bunny Ranch is up there in Nevada as well, near Reno somewhere. So it's just funny how the society is out there. They also have, you know, here in Chicago, they have employment guides where you can pull the thing down, sort of like a newspaper machine. They have that out there, but for call girls, you know. So you pull it down. And it has a newspaper with a bunch of, you know, sexy women on there with phone numbers. And when you're walking down the street too, the Mexican guys on the strip are passing out flyers for escorts as well. So, you know, that just shows you the type of like, I guess, liberal attitude that they have out there. But it ain't that liberal, okay? You do have some you know, I want to talk about the white people out there. This is the Black in Las Vegas segment. The black people, the white people out there, you know, the white people in Chicago are mostly like, you know, intellectuals, hard working, you know, they work downtown, own businesses, you know, they go to these prestigious universities and, you know, but in Las Vegas, you got some rough white folks out there, you know, and you got white folks from like all over the United States too, pointing to Las Vegas, who never seen like a real black dude before. So don't be surprised if you hear the N-word multiple times. If you hear the N-word multiple times, you know, or you hear somebody talk on a bus sitting next to you. You know, a white guy in Chicago, if he's sitting next to you on a bus, he's minding his business, or he might be scared of you to a certain degree. In Las Vegas, they'll be like, there's sure a lot of pepper around here lately. We don't have any fudge at the house. You know, they just be on this slick stuff. You know they talking about you. It's no coincidence. And they looking at you with a certain hold on 1 second. And they're looking at you with a certain look and things of this nature, then you already know what's going down, man. But when I was walking down the strip, I heard it's an N-word 4 times. Now, this dude from Las Vegas who I used to talk with, like in the chat room or whatever, he used to get mad at me every time I said this because his girlfriend was white. You know, she was like one of those hip hop white girls or whatever. And I told him, like, hey man, when I walk down the strip near the Bellagio, I heard it's it's an N-word. You know, and I continue. It's an N-word. It's an N-word, and you see how I look. So a lot of the black people who are on the strip in Las Vegas, you know, they're some of them are like the Obama types. You know, they look respectful. You do have some hood people, but you know, everybody is like clean. Everybody got like money. You know what I'm saying? So you don't see real hood dudes. You know, you don't see no Chief Keefs going out there like that. And if you do, then on the strip they be acting real funny. It's a lot of fights on the strip too. You know, a lot of people get drunk. I think getting publicly intoxicated is legal out there, I think. So yeah, you would hear it's an N-word. It's an N-word multiple times. That's for sure. And the white dudes out there will fight you. They ain't scared neither. They be like, hey, you think I'm white? Just because I'm white, I'm a punk? Just because I'm white, I'm a punk? But with the police out there, I know there was a situation where this unarmed black dude got killed out there in Las Vegas, and you know that was sad. you know, and of course the guy who shot up those 600 people, or guys, or plural, who shot up those 600 people in Las Vegas, really, really, really sad, man, really sad, you know, and apparently he wasn't from that city to pull some stuff out like that. But yeah, man, you know, there ain't no punks out there. But as far as like the police, as a black dude, I noticed compared to Chicago, the police might ride past you. They looking all up in your face. They're jumping out on you and jacking you up just for looking a certain way. In Las Vegas, from what I remember, it wasn't particularly like that. If you ain't doing nothing illegal, the police will kind of just ride past you. However, jaywalking is illegal there. You can actually go to jail for jaywalking or get a $500 ticket for jaywalking. Now, this is where being black comes into play, because I'm walking down the strip and I walk past the Flamingo Casino, I think. Was it the Flamingo? It was one of those popular casinos that's not there anymore. It's no, the Riviera. That's what it was. I'm walking past the Riviera and Metro. That's what they call the Las Vegas police, Metro. They was on a bicycle. They got the yellow, I guess, rain suits or whatever on. Police on the back of it. Las Vegas police. They on bicycles. I'm walking. They looking at me. I'm like, okay. First time I ever felt a certain type of energy from the police out there. They looking at me. I arrived to the corner. I could hear one of them behind me on a walkie-talkie saying something like, "Oh, he arrived to the corner," or whatever. I don't know what that was about. But I suspect that they thought I was going to jaywalk, because they know a lot of foreigners and tourists who go to Las Vegas don't understand that law. So you will see hordes and hordes of people jaywalking across the street when a light is red and telling you to stop. A lot of people would just go. And I hear that normally when you black, they'll target you quicker. If you black, you're not from there, you look like you ain't from there, they're gonna definitely pull you over and give you that ticket. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta watch out for that. But if you're obeying the law out there, they won't mess with you for the most part, from what I've seen. Of course, there's unique situations, but I mean, I was all around Vegas. I was homeless for Vegas for like a whole month. So, I mean, I seen it, and it's not like a corrupt city like Chicago, where when you outside, you got to worry about the cops too, for the most part. But, you know, if you breaking their rules out there, whatever rules Clark County has, they're going to boot you. And so, yeah, man. But Las Vegas overall is a cool place, a nice place. I suggest you go there. To me, it's very safe. To me, it's very safe compared to a city like Chicago. And I suggest that you visit it, because it's a nice place. You have the roller coaster that go on the ground, come up out the ground, and you see like some of the most sexiest women on the strip. You got like adult clubs for both men and women, so you have a lot of models there. You might see Playboy bunnies driving up and down the street and whatever. You know, it's a unique world out there, and it's always hot. The heat is not intolerable like a swamp, but it's very comfortable and cool. Typically feel chill when you're in Las Vegas. So I would say the city government does a good job at making sure that city is a true to the game tourist spot, and it is. So I suggest you visit Las Vegas if you get tired of your small town or your major city and kind of want to get away. So being black in Las Vegas, yeah, you do have some racists who come there, you know, from these odd redneck towns where they never seen a black person before, and if you're a hood looking dude, automatically their stereotypes won't come to mind. And if you're on the strip, then it might be an issue too, because they might if they're drunk, they might come at you sideways. So if you have a white person who says something crazy to you, then expect it. The Mexicans, they're pretty cool. I went to their neighborhood. They was pretty cool. I heard that there's a cartel grip on Las Vegas, but it doesn't seem like they're too violent because it is a tourist city, and the metro police out there will focus on real crime going on because they want to make the city safe. Majority of the crime is like robberies or store burglaries. The houses out there are not built up apartments like here. They're like one-story houses, so you will see bars on the window. So there's a lot of like home invasions and things like that. Not too many murders. Yes, it happens, but it's not like Brooklyn, or you know, well, not Brooklyn now, but Brooklyn back in the day, or Chicago or something. It's a little bit more cool. Another thing I want to let you know is that some of those people from Los Angeles, okay? No, not Los Angeles, California in general. Salute to all my Cali people. But when I say this, you know that it's true. Everybody I met from California was crazy. Oh, no matter what part of Cali, they was on one, man. You know, these dudes be like, man, I'm from California. I don't care what you saying, dude. Like, okay, man. Everybody I met from New Orleans in Las Vegas was crazy too. They're real thugs. But yeah, but other than that, man, it is a West Coast city. It is a cool city for the most part. You know, like I said, majority of people are cool. There's a hospitality and an inviting energy there. So it's America's playground for a reason, and they did a good job in making it that. So I guess I'm done with, you know, Las Vegas. Check out my book in a box if you like what I'm talking about. You want to learn more. I have a book about being homeless in Las Vegas, where I discuss the attitude of homelessness, what you're gonna go through, surviving the streets. A lot of street smart information in there. All right, that's it. Peace.